I'm Hudson Stewart, food photographer, writer, and culinary adventurer. For more than 25 years, I've traveled the globe from Japan to Jamaica, tasting and photographing some of the world's most amazing foods. And even though I'm American by birth, and I've lived in some of the most beautiful places on the planet, it's truly Portugal that has my heart. And while it's glittering cities like Lisbon and Porto that attract millions of tourists and travelers to Portugal each year, to find the truly special, one has to leave behind the frenzy of tuk-tuks and crowds of selfie takers and escape to places that only the most off-the-beaten-path travelers ever get to see. Mrs. Dina.
Olá, boa tarde.
Hello, good to meet you.
Então, quero provar uma amêndoa das que estou a fazer.
Oh, what are these? They look like seashells.
E então, quero vir a ver como se faz. Quer experimentar?
Those are magnificent.
Então, vá lá.
Today I'm meeting with Dona Lourdes of Art, Sabor e Douro, a confectionery wizard who has promised to show me how she makes a type of sugar-covered almond famous in this region. These are not the same old boring Jordan almonds covered in a tooth-shatteringly hard sugar shell you got for Easter when you were a kid. These are something altogether different and special. Light, delicate, perfectly roasted morsels that have to be experienced to be believed. After tasting one for the first time, I was utterly hooked.
Pronto, já chega. Vamos põe ela.
A little bit more?
Chega. Perfeito.
Oh, thank you.
Sugar.
É assim, senhora. Assim mesmo. Está bom. Muito bom.
Yeah? All right. I got the seal of approval from the master.
Do you eat a lot of these while you do this?
Como muito disto?
No. They're hard. Crispy. I'm getting the hang of it, little by little. I'm getting it. Yeah.
Quando vai pro banho?
We leave Torre de Moncorvo and head next to an even more remote village called Lagoa, on the outskirts of the town of Macedo de Cavaleiros, where I'm going to meet the patron saint of bread in the Sabor region, Tia Maria Luisa. 85 years old and still making bread in the traditional Portuguese way, by hand, baked in a wood-fired stone oven. I'm frankly unprepared for how utterly adorable she is.
I feel like this is such an honor. This is great.
I'm joining grandmothers around the world. I'm a grown man, but I don't have half the energy that Tia Maria Luisa has. I wish I did. I could probably get a lot accomplished. She does it perfectly. She gets it perfectly each time. It's amazing. Yep. Tia Maria. Look at this. How come your hands look better than mine? Like this? This is my baby. I'm just gonna put it in its bed to sleep. Yes. That's where my hand was. This is beautiful, Crumb. This is the way bread is meant to look. The sights, the sounds, the smells, the crackling of the wood. Watching Tia Maria Luisa work, I feel I'm in the presence of something really special. That is absolutely amazing. I could live here. Tia Maria is my grandmother. I get bread every day. This could be a good life. Our next stop is the Quinta de Terrincha, a staggeringly beautiful estate and winery that produces both wine and olive oil. So, tell me about these wines.
Well, in here we have the first one that is a monovarietal.
Is this typical of most Portuguese wines?
Well, Touriga Nacional is present in almost of our Portuguese regions and in the world.
Yes.
The second one will have a blend. It's made from three varieties. One is Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, and the other one is Sozão. So if you smell it, you'll smell the red fruits.
Oh yeah, right away.
Blackcurrant, blackberry, and some strawberry too.
Across Europe, in places from Tuscany to Norway, there's a small number of truly exceptional lakes that somehow manage to balance all the elements perfectly. Water, topology, and surrounding scenery, all uniting in a happy accident that makes you feel like you've stepped into a painting that you never want to leave.
So this region of Portugal is absolutely extraordinarily beautiful. Just on our drive here, every time I turned my head, my mouth fell open. And this winery itself is absolutely stunning. How long has this been here?
The first mentions are from the 15th century. The property was associated with the production of ropes for the caravels for the discovery.
You make this olive oil then?
Yes, it's organic and it's produced in here, in the property.
It's buttery, vegetal. I can taste the plant. I'm gonna try this. That's lovely. Bright, creamy. I like that cheese.
It's the perfect ending to the day as I stroll around the grounds of Quinta de Turincha, taking in the beautiful vistas. I can't help but be impressed by its beauty. You could film a movie here. Celebrities would get married here.
In America, we say bottoms up. What do you say in Portugal?
We say saúde.
Saúde.
With its gorgeous rolling hills covered by countless millions of blossoms, the Sabor Lakes region is an ideal place to keep bees and make honey. Begin with the Museu de Mel, a working apiary and museum devoted to all things honey.
So you smoke the bees with rosemary. Pine and rosemary. Now I know the secret formula for sedating bees.
Natural.
Very natural.
Natural.
Yeah, only natural things.
Porque no natural problem to bees.
It ruins
Natural, no
the...
problem.
I understand. Yeah.
You know what else is a problem? Getting stung by a bee if you're allergic. I'm really glad for this bee suit and these gloves.
I have never been this close to this many bees. It's a little intimidating, actually. I can hear them buzzing around my head. I feel bad disturbing their work, honestly. But I think their work is delicious. Oh, wow. It's just amazing. If you could hear the buzzing sounds I hear right now. Listen to that. That's the sound of thousands of bees. These boxes are completely full of bees.
For 1 second now.
Okay. Francisco, thank you so much.
No, no problem.
No problem. Your English is great.
All this honey has made me hungry for something that isn't sweet, so I take a table by the fire at Doña Antonia, a restaurant that specializes in something called geofood, which refers to food sourced from inside UNESCO-recognized geoparks. Geoparks are areas with unique and outstanding geological heritage.
Oh, what's this?
São casulas,
Cazulas.
dried beans in the shells. São servidas com carne de porco cozida.
This is pork and beans.
Yep.
This is pork and beans, Portuguese style. Oh, this dish feels so typically Portuguese to me. It's pork, it's beans, it's potatoes, and yet somehow just with those simple ingredients, it just shines. It's an incredible dish. So soft, so tender. This is a delicious dish. It has the salty, the part I expect from bacon. It has a very bacony flavor to it. I tell you, if this is an example of geo-food, I am all in. This is fantastic.
To put it another way, their soil and ecology is special, worth protecting from agricultural practices that could rob them of their uniqueness, and capable of producing food of exceptionally high quality. It's obvious that the unique climate, sun, and soil in the Sabor Lakes region makes it perfect for growing the grapes that go into the many outstanding wines produced here. And it also obviously lends itself to the production of some of the finest olives and olive oil I've ever tasted. But I'm delighted to discover that it also makes an ideal environment for the cultivation of a fruit near and dear to my own heart, the cherry. In the village of Alfondega de Fé, I stopped to visit with a woman who has taken the local cherry and used it to craft something uniquely delicious.
I am so excited to try this. I've been thinking about this all week and waiting to try this particular dish. This is the cherry salpicao. How long have you been making this?
She makes this 5 years ago.
5 years.
Yeah. She creates.
How did she have the idea? It just came to her.
It's one way to promote the cherry. This is a product of Alfândega da Fé.
All right.
And promote air products, that is the fumeiro.
And do you find these sell well? People like these?
Yes, I think so.
Will you try some with me? You can see the cherries dispersed through the meat. It's so tender and yet so firm, just sort of falls apart. It's absolutely delicious.
Back in Mogadoro, I meet with Senor Enrique Alves and his delightful daughter, who show me around an apiary turned honey museum. Here, the art of the bee is revealed, and I'm amazed by the way honey changes its tastes and colors depending on the season in which it's collected.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. The light coming through the back of that honeycomb. That's incredible. Beautiful, bright, clean, very light. I like this honey.
The color of the honey depends on what the bees feed on.
I see.
If they feed on certain plants or flowers, that is reflected in the color of the wine. You'll see they're darker ones. The honey. Sorry.
So this bee ate a different flower,
Yes.
nectar from a different
Yeah.
flower than this bee.
Yeah, that was a wild one. The darker the honey gets, that's when they feed on the wild ones.
Oh, okay.
Or anything you can see around here. The plants that are not actually trimmed or cultivated or anything, the wild plants, make really, really dark honey.
And the honey drains through here?
No, not through this one.
Oh.
It can, if you leave them all stacked up, but there's another machine where these are going to be slotted in. And then it sort of turns them slightly.
Oh,
for
I
a
see.
while.
Like centrifugal force.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it even looks a little thicker.
Não tem muita diferença na cor. É mais o escuro, é mais no verão, fim de outras flores.
I could taste this is more intense, more floral.
Before I leave this achingly beautiful place behind, it's time to put together one last meal to share with a new friend. I just need to gather a few items first.
Obrigado.
In a wine cellar in Mogadoro, I meet with the delightful Viradora Gina, who I've taken to calling Virginia.
Hola. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
So have you lived in this village your entire life?
Eu gosto muito desta vila, eu vivo aqui. E tu?
I moved here after coming here on my honeymoon. I fell in love with Portugal.
E vieste por aqui e agora gostas de estar aqui, em Portugal?
Oh, I love living here. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Aqui temos tudo. Temos o salpicão, a chouriça, o queijo, o mel.
Which one is your favorite?
O meu? Tudo.
Everything.
Eu gosto de tudo.
Yeah, I like the way you think. You're gonna like that, I promise. What do you think?
Muito bom.
Yeah, muito bom.
Muito bom.
It's good. I could eat like this all the time.
Sim, todos os dias comíamos todos os dias.
I'd probably have
Não
a heart
podemos
attack.
comer todos os dias, porque senão
Yeah.
arrancamos, não?
You have to roll me out the door. Yeah. But it'd be a good way to die. When would you eat food like this normally?
Este tipo de comidas é o tradicional, não se come diariamente.
Well, it's a good business card. It's a delicious business card. In fact, I'm going to have one more piece of this because you guys do it right.
Vai vir a surpresa.
A surpresa?
Para ti,
A party?
em Mogadoro, há surpresas. Muita surpresa.
Well, where is the party?
Escuta,
Oh my God!
Suddenly, the room is filled with music and people, and I'm swept away in a genuine outpouring of the hospitality and friendliness I've come to associate with this region in my short time here. A cup of coffee in a cafe, the smiles, the kindness, and real food made by real people who care about every detail. Keep your crowded big cities, keep your tourist centers, keep your souvenir shops, keep your mass-produced corporate branded food, keep your over-it-all world-weary travelers standing in long lines. I'll trade them all for moments like these.